Hey everyone. I'm really just posting this so that other people can see it. Many of you don't know, but I have been a renal patient, a kidney patient my whole life, but consciously and aware of it since my 20s. I want to say my kidney transplant was in 2008. I had kidney failure in 2006, 2 years on dialysis. And I learned something early on. I was very grateful that I had a friend at the time when I had kidney failure that had been in and out of dialysis for the last 5 years. And one of the things he taught me was to educate yourself on not only your medical situation and your physical body, but also on the system and how it works. And it's really frustrating and sad in America that that has to be the case. And I'm calling out companies by name because I've been grateful for these companies and then seen horrible, horrible treatment of people because of their negligence and just blatant inability to take care of the patients the way they need to be. The main lesson to learn here is learn to advocate for yourself. If you're someone who's very quiet and you think being polite and being nice is going to get you anywhere or get you the care you need, it's just not the case in America. And that's what I learned early on from my friend that also had renal failure. Thank you, Joel. If you ever see this, I'm not sure you will. But we must advocate for ourselves. So multiple times in multiple situations, I could tell you of issues that I've had that have been great with Virginia Mason, where I had my kidney transplant here in Seattle. It has now been taken over by Franciscan Health, which has been a shit show and absolutely horrible. And I'm grieving right now for any other patients that are in my situation but don't know how to advocate for themselves or speak up for themselves with authority and power and truth. So since Franciscan has taken over the last few years over at Virginia Mason, I've watched my doctors, nephrologists, every doctor I've had be really frustrated with the system. And because I'm in culture and transformation, I ask specific questions. And I won't mention them by name because I want to respect their autonomy. But I said, it's clearly struggling. The system is struggling. Virginia Mason used to be a place that lived by its moniker, which was team medicine. No matter what doctor I went to that I had to see, they're like, oh, I've already spoken to a nephrologist. Here's how we know to care for you. I've already spoken to this person. I've already spoken to that person. And it was the best care I could have ever received my entire life. And I've been with Virginia Mason since 2008 when Dr. Hefty gave me the gift of my transplant from my friend Seth. Also, thank you, Seth. I don't know if you'll ever see this. But when Franciscan took over, I just noticed team medicine be dissolved and mission be dissolved and mistakes being made and my immune suppressant drugs that I need in order to keep a healthy transplanted kidney. I have to take them every 12 hours on time. I cannot miss dosages. If you miss dosages, you risk rejecting the transplanted organ. And since Franciscan has taken over, and I think it's been 2 years, they're not getting my prescriptions to my pharmacy to renew and haven't for more than 2 years now. My specific problem today was that I'm out of medication. And I've been talking to them, my pharmacy's been talking to them for 2 weeks now to have those renewals sent to the pharmacy. And they just weren't responding. So in the last 2 weeks, I have called the nephrology department of Virginia Mason now 3 times and talked to 5 separate people. And still nothing had happened. Today, finally, thankfully, I got to speak to the right person and they sent the prescriptions right over to my pharmacy and everything's good to go. I'm going to pick up my medication tomorrow and we're great. But what if I didn't advocate for myself? What if I was someone who was nervous to call the doctor's office and to keep pressing until they did what was needed. I also had questioned my doctor at a certain point in time about the medication and if it was the right dosage. And his response was, "Oh, we don't need to check the dosage of that medication. I can't overprescribe that to you." Well, a year later, we found out he was overprescribing for me. And because he was overprescribing that medication for me, it caused permanent lung damage in my body, which is creating in and out of breathing problems ever since. And I talked to a lawyer, and a lawyer is like, "Well, is it, you look healthy. Is it physically, to the point where you don't feel healthy?" And I said, "No." And he's like, "Well, then you don't have a case." So we're just kind of stuck, right? And all of this again is, what if I was a person that didn't have the confidence or the inner strength or the inner power, and so what I call self-mastery, and to speak up, to keep calling, to keep talking firmly, to not let them pass me off or make an excuse. I would be without medication today. And the saddest thing was, one of the people that I talked to today literally said, "You're not the only one this is happening to, since we are just overlogged with calls from people with kidney transplants that can't get their medication because we're not sending the things to the pharmacies in time." And that was supposed to make me feel better. It did not. It made me more upset and grieve more, again, for those that don't know how to advocate for themselves. There's got to be something to be done. I don't know what that is. I don't know what the answer is. But the way I'm choosing to fight it is with Breakbox. Breakbox is all about self-mastery. And I don't mean to be doing self-promotion here. What I am going to be doing, that had I not learned the skills through my pain and trauma and PTSD from narcissistic abuse and anxious attachment and all these things that I had worked through to resolve these things and transform these parts of me, I would still be waiting for my medications and could possibly run out and lose my transplanted kidney and be in a very severe health situation. And so I believe in what I do, and it turns people around. It turns us around. It's turned me around, and it has turned me into a strong, grounded, powerful man who is well-spoken, will speak up for myself, will advocate for myself, and will not allow people to cross my boundaries in any certain way at all anymore. And I've never been happier and more fulfilled and feel more powerful in my life than this moment today. So if you're one of those people, I just want to encourage you. If you're one of those people that is scared to advocate for yourself, is scared to speak up, is even worried to say something to the waiter or waitress when they got your order wrong, you can speak up. And if you don't know how, it's time for you to learn, whether through me or whoever else. Always happy to help if we're a match and we're aligned and the program fits for you. But if not, let this be a point of encouragement, of advocate for yourself. And if you can't, do the inner work. Do the inner work to resolve the traumas, integrate the shadows, and embody your most powerful self somatically, so that you can advocate for yourself, so that you will speak up for yourself, so that you will leave that job with the toxic environment and the toxic boss, so you will leave that partner that is abusing you, so that you can live the life that you are meant to and the life of your dreams. This is such a huge thing. This is just a massive, massive truth that we need to grasp around, that there is a problem in our world, and especially in the American healthcare machine, that if you don't advocate for yourself, you will be lost. And you could face dire results of that, and you have no legal recourse and leverage to do anything about it if you don't have money to take care of those issues. So I'm just hoping that this reaches somebody that needs to hear it, that needs to take on a different role in their inner world so that they can be stronger in their outer world. Transformational alchemy is not about magic. It is about depth psychology. It is about getting to the root of the parts underneath and working to heal, resolve, and transform them so that you can embody the version of you that is already in there that will advocate for yourself, that will set boundaries, that will be securely attached, that will speak strongly, that will streak with power, but also with love, and not manipulating or trying to get your way, but being and having and experiencing a life of embodiment that is no longer being projected on other people or absorbed by you. I just felt really passionate to share this today, and I hope it finds somebody that needed to hear it. So thank you, and reach out if you're somebody that needs to learn to advocate for yourself, and more so to bring the transformation to your inner world, to bring out the part of you that is ready to really live and be alive, as within, so without. God bless. I've obviously never done this before because I don't know how to turn it off. So fun.